The other books, like those found in Nag Hammadi, were omitted, either because they were written by women, for example, the Gospel according to Mary Magdalene, or because they depicted a Jesus who was aware of his divine mission and whose passage through death would therefore be less drawn out and painful. Insert montage here. Yes, 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 that is the book. Come, let's read. Scratch that. I think I'm gonna start this again. Hi, beautiful people. Hi, beautiful person. You may call me Miss Anita, and I'm sorry for the long silence, but I'm back with a new video. Yes, and guess what? A Paulo Coelho book, Manuscript, found in Accra. Accra is the capital city of Ghana. It's by the beach and it borders the Atlantic Ocean. So this manuscript was found in Accra before the town, a night before the town was invaded. Come, let's read with me today. Yeah, read with me today. Okay, I'll start with the synopsis, then I will read maybe a passage or a chapter, a short chapter with you. Yes, come read with me. Let's get some juice. All right, let's get into it. Let's start with the synopsis. Only he who gives up is defeated. Only he. Should we start with the writer? A short story of the writer, which is not really the writer, he just like compiled it. Should I start with maybe I should just start with the synopsis. Only he who gives up is defeated. Everyone else is victorious. After lying undiscovered for over 700 years, a manuscript holding the answers to a city's final questions is unearthed. Centuries before, on the eve of the invasion of Accra, the citizens gathered. A man stood before them and invited the people to share their fears, that he might offer hope and comfort. His extraordinary insights on courage, solitude, loyalty, and loss were transcribed and passed on. A timeless and powerful exploration of personal growth, everyday wisdom, and joy. Yeah. He's also the author of the book called The Alchemist, which I think the first time that I read it I was still in like high school, but I kind of need to read it because I don't remember it very well. I don't even count it as a read book. Okay, let me read. I think this is him. Paulo Coelho was born in Brazil and has become one of the most widely read Paulo Coelho was born in Brazil and has become one of the most widely read and loved authors in the world. Especially renowned for The Alchemist, he has sold more than 145 million books worldwide and has been translated into 74 languages and has been published in 150 countries. The recipient of numerous prestigious international awards, including the Crystal Award by the World Economic Forum and France's Legion d'Honneur. Paulo Coelho was inducted into the Brazilian Academy of Letters in 2002. In 2007, he was named a United Nations Messenger of Peace. Okay. Does everybody like read the preface of a book? Oh my gosh, so much light, guys. Preface and greeting, that's what it says. Does everybody like read the preface? Because when I get a book, I literally read from cover to cover. Does any of you do that? I think it's important for us to read this preface because he actually did not write the book, he just kind of compiled the manuscript, so it's gonna give us insight. In December 1945, two brothers looking for a place to rest found an urn full of papyruses in a cave in the region of Hamradom in Upper Egypt. Instead of telling the authorities, as the law demanded, they decided to sell them singly in the market for antiquities, thus avoiding attracting the government's attention. The boy's mother, fearing negative energies, burnt several of the newly discovered papyruses. The following year, for reasons history does not record, the brothers quarreled. Attributing this quarrel to the supposed negative energies, the mother handed over the manuscripts to a priest, who sold them to the Coptic Museum in Cairo. There, the papyruses were given the name they still bear to this day, Manuscripts from Nag Hammadi, a reference to the town nearest to the caves where they were found. One of the museum's experts, the religious historian Jean Doris, realized the importance of the discovery and mentioned it for the first time in the publication dated 1948. Other papyruses began to appear on the black market. The Egyptian government tried to prevent the manuscripts from leaving the country. After the 1952 revolution, most of the material was handed over to the Coptic Museum in Cairo and declared part of the national heritage. Only one text eluded them, and this had turned up in an antiquarian shop in Belgium. After vain attempts to sell it in New York and Paris, it was finally acquired by the Cultural Institute in 1951. On the death of the famous psychoanalyst, the papyrus, now known as Jung Codex, returned to Cairo, where the almost 1,000 pages and fragments of the manuscripts from Nag Hammadi are now to be found. The papyruses are Greek translations of texts written between the end of the 1st century BC and 180 AD, and they constitute a body of work also known as the Apocryphal Gospels, because they are not included in the Bible as we know it today. Now, why is that? In 170 AD, a group of bishops met to decide which texts would have been part of the New Testament. The criterion was simple enough: anything that could be used to combat the heresies and doctrinal divisions of the age will be included. The 4 Gospels we know today were chosen, as were the letters from the apostles and whatever else was judged to be, shall we say, coherent with what the bishops believed to be the main tenets of Christianity. Reference to these meetings of the bishops and their list of authorized books can be found in Muratorian canon. Okay. The other books, like those found in Nag Hammadi, were omitted, either because they were written by women, for example, the Gospel according to Mary Magdalene, or because they depicted a Jesus who was aware of his divine mission and whose passage through death would therefore be less drawn out and painful. Let me read that last paragraph, last sentence again. Some warm water. It's not I think I need to read this with a dictionary, if at all you need to read this, because of especially the preface. It has some like vocabs just sprinkled here and there, here and there, here and there. Okay. The other books, like those found in Nag Hammadi, were omitted, either because they were written by women, for example, the Gospel according to Mary Magdalene, or because they depicted a Jesus who was aware of his divine mission and whose passage through death would, therefore, be less drawn out and painful. In 1974, the English archaeologist Sir Walter Wilkinson discovered another manuscript, this time written in 3 languages: Arabic, Hebrew, and Latin. Conscious of the laws protecting such finds in the region, he sent the text to the Department of Antiquities in the Museum of Cairo. Shortly afterwards, back came a response. There were at least 155 copies of the document circulating in the world, 3 of which belonged to the museum, and they were all practically identical. Carbon-14 tests used to determine the age of organic matter revealed that the document was relatively recent, possibly as late as 1307. It was easy enough to trace its origin to the city of Accra, outside Egyptian territory. There were therefore no restrictions on its removal from the country, and Sir Walter received a written permission from the Egyptian government, reference 1901/317/IFP 75, dated 23rd November 1974, to take it back to England with him. So, Paulo says, I met Sir Walter's son in 1982 at Christmas in Wales. I remember him mentioning the manuscript discovered by his father, but neither of us gave much importance to the matter. We maintained a cordial relationship over the years and met on at least 2 other occasions when I visited Wales to promote my books. On 30th November 2011, I received a copy of the text he had mentioned at the first meeting. Yes, that is the manuscript from Accra. That's the history of this book. Quite a rich read, guys. So I think to end this video, I will read one of the shortest maybe, or short chapter, so that you can get a feel of what the whole book is about. Okay, let's do this. Remember, it's on the night before an invasion to the city. When people sit around a certain man, they ask him questions and he answers. The previous question before the one I'm going to read was, then my neighbor Jacob said, speak to us about defeat. Not defeat, defeat. Anyway. Then my neighbor Jacob said, speak to us about defeat. So he speaks about defeat. Then another person described the defeated ones, asked a merchant when he saw that the Copt had finished speaking. And he answered, the defeated are those who never fail. The defeated are those who never fail. Defeat means that we lose a particular battle or war. Failure does not allow us to go on fighting. Defeat comes when we fail to get something we very much want. Failure does not allow us to dream. Its motto is, expect nothing and you won't be disappointed. Defeat ends when we launch into another battle. Failure has no end. It's a lifetime choice. Defeat is for those who, despite their fears, live with enthusiasm and faith. Defeat is for the valiant. Only they will know the honor of losing and the joy of winning. I am not here to tell you that defeat is part of life. We all know that. Only the defeated know love, because it is in the realm of love that we fight our first battles and generally lose. I am here to tell you that there are people who have never been defeated. There are the ones who never fought. They are the ones who never fought. They managed to avoid scars, humiliations, feelings of helplessness, as well as those moments where even warriors doubt the existence of God. Such people can say with pride, I never lost a battle. On the other hand, they will never be able to say, I won a battle. Not that they care. They live in a universe which they believe they are invulnerable. They close their eyes to injustices and to suffering. They feel safe because they do not have to deal with the daily challenges faced by those who risk stepping out beyond their own boundaries. They have never heard the words goodbye or I've come back. Embrace me with the fervor of someone who, having lost me, has found me again. Those who are never defeated seem happy and superior, masters of a truth they never had to lift a finger to achieve. They are always on the side of the strong. They are like hyenas who only eat the livings of lions. They teach their children, don't get involved in conflicts. You'll only lose. Keep your doubts to yourself and you'll never have any problems. If someone attacks you, don't get offended or demean yourself by hitting back. There are more important things in life. In the silence of the night, they fight their imaginary battles, their unrealized dreams, the injustices to which they turned a blind eye, the moments of cowardice they managed to conceal from other people, but not from themselves, and the love that crossed their path with a sparkle in its eyes, the love God had intended for them, but which they lacked the courage to embrace. And they promised themselves, tomorrow will be different. But tomorrow comes, and the paralyzing question surfaces in their mind. What if it doesn't work? And so they do nothing. Woe to those who were never beaten. They will never be winners in this life. Yeah, that's one of the chapters. There is a lot of juice in this book, so I think I'll end this video here. Have you read this book? What was your favorite statement in what I've just read? Make sure to holla at me. Let's have a discussion in the comment section. I've really enjoyed this episode. Yeah, get yourself a Paulo Coelho book. This is Manuscript from Accra. The other one that I've read that I can recommend is The Archer. Shout out to the book club someone suggested we read The Archer. And also, if you have The Alchemist, you can send it to my PO box, guys. It's in the description box. Yeah, I've really enjoyed this. Hope you have a good day. Have a good rest of your day, evening, or night. Goodbye.